Welcome to Weaving Happiness Through Grief, where we navigate the delicate balance between love, loss, and the resilient heart. I'm Stephanie, an author and storyteller who found joy and healing after the unimaginable heartbreak of losing a once-in-a-lifetime love. This podcast dives into the raw truth of grief, the beauty of cherished memories, and the hope of new beginnings. Through my journey, rediscovering happiness and opening my heart again, I've learned that grief and joy can coexist, and love can find us when we least expect it. Join me as we honor the past, embrace the present, and step boldly into the future with courage and vulnerability. Let's celebrate the resilience of the human spirit and the beauty of living fully, even after a loss. All of our futures are shaped by little things that happen along the way. We build this solid foundation and we don't even realize it's happening until sometimes months, years, or even almost a lifetime later. You can see how all the things have layered upon one another, and they are incredible when you can look back on them. One of my first memories was in my childhood. I was in kindergarten. I was an August birthday, so I was a new 5-year-old. Back then we started on Labor Day, so I was 2 weeks shy of my just turning 5 years old. It was the only time my whole family, or children, there's 4 of us, I'm the youngest, we were in K through 6. And my mom told everybody, make sure Stephanie gets on the bus. But she didn't tell me. So kindergarten got out, not like it is today where all the parents are there and you have to see the kids going, but we all got out and we all kind of just went our separate ways. When I got out, no one was there to greet me. No one told me what to do. So independently, I just decided at brand new 5-year-old, I'm going to walk home on main streets, about 2 to 3 miles home. I walked all the way home. By the time I got there, my mom and dad had already called the police. They thought I'd been kidnapped and abducted, and turned out I was just fine. But that was kind of just the nature of who I was, not even realizing it. Variety of things will shape our lives as we go along. Fast forward, a handful of years, and my dad, we all have something in our lives that we wish we could change or we wish we weren't, but if you can grow and evolve from them. And my dad, as I'm so proud of him, but one of his struggles he was a gambler. And as a child, being the youngest, my mom would take me sometimes, instead of babysitting, I would go with them and I would sit with her in the Gammon meetings. And one of the things I learned at a very young age was something they call Serenity Prayer, which if you are knowing this, if you're an alcoholic, a gambler, any kind of addiction, they have this Serenity Prayer. And one of the things I remember hearing over and over in these meetings I would go with my parents is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I don't think I realized as a child how important those tiny little details were, to learn to control what you can, to let go of the things you can't control. And it takes practice. It's very difficult to find that space and go, what can I control? What can't I control? So I think that in life I've learned that these tools were already set in me, even though they were so very difficult to watch my family financially. My dad's addiction that he did get over and he got through, and I was super proud of him. And these things shape our lives. That's who we are. Sadly, my dad, down the road, he had a company, and one of the things that had happened with him is we lived in San Diego area at the time, and he had some workers that did day labor jobs across the borders. He was there visiting one of his workers to help them with something, I think moving something in their home and with his truck or something like that. And what happened was there was some kind of raid happening nearby, and anyway, he got caught up in the mix of this place, wrong time kind of moment. And sadly, my dad was put into a Mexican prison in Tijuana. And it was quite tragic. I was in the middle towards the latter part of 8th grade. And we went to visit him there. I remember going there for the Easter, for his birthday. All these times in the spring, I was just finishing my 8th grade year in junior high. And this was something that really shaped my life, knowing the struggle, that he was somewhere where we could not do anything about it. He was there for about 3 months. And we couldn't do anything about it. He was in prison, and we had to do, not to say we, really, it was my mom. And my kudos to her. She was a strength and a rock for our family during that time. But got him out. We came back. And shortly after that, my brother was diagnosed with cancer. He was 18 at the time. He was 4 years older than me. And so I was 14. And this all happened shortly after my dad had just gotten out of prison. All these building blocks, all these things that happened in my life that are so impactful and so terrible and so horrific. And yet when I look back on them, I'm like, that's who I am. These things help shape me. These things help build me and help kind of create this foundation for what I believe God, He probably knew was coming into my life down the road, and I just didn't see it coming. I didn't realize what was going to happen. But these things shaped me and brought me into the place where I am at, where I can overcome these moments, get through these things, and not just get through them, but find a way to accept them, control what I can control, accept what I can't control, and learn to change the things I can. And that's a good part of my childhood that helped shape me into the person who I am today, which when things happen later in life, into my 50s, I know that they are a reflection of that. And so I don't look at these as, poor me, my life sucked. My dad was in prison, my brother got diagnosed, all of these horrible things happened, and I don't look at it like that. I look at it like that gave me the strength and the ability to overcome the things that happened to me later in life that I dealt with that didn't even know were coming. As we close this episode of Love, Loss, and Creating Life Second Chances, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey of remembrance, resilience, and rediscovery. Loss is a path that none of us choose, but together we can walk through it, honoring the love that was and of the life that still awaits us. If today's story touched a part of your own journey, know that you're not alone. Grief, though profound, doesn't close us off from joy. It teaches us how to hold space for both love and loss. And sometimes it opens our hearts to unexpected new beginnings. Join me next time as we continue to explore healing, acceptance, and the beautiful, bittersweet moments that remind us life can still be filled with happiness. And remember, while we honor the love that has shaped us, we open ourselves to the hope that the future holds. Please head over to the show notes to find out more of the ways I offer guidance on the topics I discuss in this podcast, or visit thestephanieduran.com. Until next time, take gentle steps forward, hold your memories close, and know that joy and love in all its forms continues on.